Again, I'm in Astoria, Oregon, heading south on the 101. Oh, you're from Red Deer, Alberta, cool. I lived in Calgary for a year in 2016. Worked at an outdoor store selling outdoor apparel and equipment, which fits well with my little side passion here. Alright. I'm running out of a path here, so I'm gonna have to walk on the shoulder, but that's not too bad. The shoulder's quite wide here, so I'm not too concerned about it. I just prefer to be not walking with traffic if I have to be. Yeah, it's an extremely long bridge. And most of it, or a significant portion of it, was really sketchy to walk along. They call... See, now this is pretty wide. This is very reasonable. It's almost a full lane of traffic wide. But up at the water crossing part of it, there's a very narrow shoulder with a really low railing, with a really weird, like, 1.5 foot wide sidewalk. But like the railing was low enough, it was below my waist, so if I shifted my weight over too much on the railing, with the backpack and everything, I'd just roll over that railing into the water. So I'm happy to be over that part. I was just a little quiet during that part because I was focusing on where I was putting my foot, so I wasn't gonna roll off the edge or anything like that, because that would be unfortunate. Yeah, so I guess I can show you. Up there, there's a street light up there. I'm gonna reevaluate where I am when I hit that light and just see where I am in relation to a town. If it looks like I'm kind of getting close to the end, then I'll find a place to catch a ride. I have a sign that says 101 South, so I'll just set you guys down somewhere where I can still see you, pull out my sign, and try and catch a ride. But yeah. This has been a really good day of hitchhiking. Like, I turned this live on when I got out of my tent this morning, and it's been 8 hours, over 8 hours that I've been live. So that's because the first 2 days I was doing this, we really had some difficulties with connection, and I only got a couple hours in each day, I think, of live streaming. But today we're pretty much doing from sun up to sundown, as long as I don't lose it now. So it's been a really good day. Lots of people talking. I've had a lot of fun. Alright, we crossed the bridge, it's over. We're on dry land completely now. Great success. Yeah, those big commercial trucks, they create a big draft and you just get sandblasted because it picks up all that sand and really small pebbles as they drive past. So it's a good idea to close your eyes before you get that big right in your face. I hope I get a few like long haul truck rides, because it's kind of cool when you get them. They're really comfortable. When one of those pull over, you know you're going a decent distance, because they generally don't do short rides. Yeah, and truck drivers tend to be fairly unique individuals. They live a fairly solitary life, solitary. Like it's just them in the road a lot of time. So a lot of them are a little quirky, but they're interesting. And some of them are pretty rough too. Google Maps the whole way. Yeah, Google Maps all the way. It's the best mapping software there is. Actually, usually when I travel, like in international countries, I don't have data like I do here. So I'd use an app called Maps.me, maps.me. And with that, you can download a map of the locations you want to go to and store that on your phone. And your phone has GPS built in, so it can always place you on a map. What uses up your data is loading the map itself, and if you already have those maps downloaded onto your phone, then you don't need data to be able to navigate. They also have driving. There's a girl over there that was waving and like almost looked like she was flagging me over, but I can't tell. Maybe I should go over and say hi. Not that this trip is trying to like find women or anything like that. It's just when someone's like friendly and welcoming and almost looks like they're beckoning over, I'll try and do that. But I should be crossing about here anyway, so we'll see. See if I have to jaywalk or if I can just walk across. I'll probably have to actually legally cross. How do I charge my phone at McDonald's or something? So I have, when I left, I had, I'm sure you're familiar with like battery power banks. Essentially is an external battery that you charge up separately. I had a 22,000 milliamp hour battery, two 20,000 milliamp hour batteries, a 12,000 milliamp hour battery, a 10,000 milliamp hour battery, and a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. And like I have a power bar and stuff like that, so I can start charging them all at the same time. And in theory, that should last me a few days without I actually have to plug into a wall. But every couple days, I'm gonna need a whole overnight charge. Otherwise, I won't be able to live stream. So I've got probably about, one of my 20,000 milliamp hour batteries just died on me. It just decided to stop working with a full charge. The other one just died today, like I just needs to be recharged. And I'm running on the third one right now, which I just plugged in a few hours ago. And then the 12,000, 10,000 one are full. And the 4,000 one's empty. So I've still got a decent amount of charge, probably enough for one more day. But I could really use an overnight charge tonight. But I don't know, I never really pay for accommodation, so unless I got offered a place, I don't really get to be able to charge. But I don't know, I've got viewers to, I don't know, keep entertained. I don't want to go a couple days before finding power. Oregon looks like Alberta? Yeah, if you look at it that way, it kind of does. I can see that. Except we just walked across like the mouth of an ocean, which Alberta does not have. Like the ocean kind of leading into a river. I forget what the river's called because I'm not good at geography, but is that geography? Yeah. Ladies on the road, I don't have a companion. For the most part, I travel alone. Always on a long distance basis, I travel alone. I make weird travel decisions, and it wouldn't work that well with a travel partner. So I do it myself. Which is kind of nice. You have 100% freedom. I can do whatever I want whenever I want to. So yeah. Always travel by myself, but I enjoy traveling temporarily with people, just for a day or two. Especially when people are interested in trying out hitchhiking. Like I like having people tag along, experience. Yeah, what hitchhiking is like, because not many people have done it. Oh yeah, and I didn't notice, you're the only one talking right now. Thanks for the conversation though, Medic Joy. I'm trying to cross into the shopping center here. But there's like a swamp there, so I have to walk all the way around here. So it's kind of annoying. Yeah, well, we just did a little bit of pilgrimage. We'll go to the shopping complex. Do I need anything? I might grab a quick snack just in case I don't get any proper meal at the end of my day, and maybe just bring it with me for dinner, and then head back on the road, hopefully catch one more ride today. I'd like it. Again, sorry, it's a hitchhiking stream, but there's no hitchhiking for the past, it hasn't been for an hour and a half at least. Maybe 2 hours even? No, probably an hour and a half. We'll get there. There'll be hitchhiking. I promise. Yeah, no, I'll find somewhere to set up my tent and sleep for the night. Now, my only thing is, I probably won't take my Twitch stream with me when I'm trying to find a place to camp. Like, I just don't want people to know exactly where I'm camping. Also, free camping is kind of an illegal gray area, or sometimes an illegal red area. Depends on what type of, where you're camping. But, so I just kind of don't like to advertise that much. I did turn on my stream when I was taking down so people could see the process. When I turn on my stream, there's no one watching to start with, so probably everyone missed that. But if you, at the end of the stream, I don't know if it only uploads this after, but if you did want to see my camping setup, if you watch the VOD for this stream, you'll see my tent and you'll see me take it down in the rain. Yeah, cities are the worst for finding a place to camp, so in general I do avoid cities. There's for food. There's an errand. There's a Walgreens. There's an investment place. Got Alaska plates. It's a long way. Yeah, I definitely avoid cities. Like, I had people asking if I was going to go to Portland, and I wouldn't voluntarily go there unless I knew someone there, or if I got picked up by someone, we got along well, and they offered to like go do something in Portland or something. There's a taco place up here. I'm gonna get a taco. I know I usually don't like spend much money on food, but this is gonna be my dinner. I'm gonna get a taco. Tacos El Catri. I'll try to make this quick. So, because we only got not that much daylight left. And I want to try and catch at least one more ride. Hi. Hi.
speaking Spanish in the kitchen. You don't get that much in Canada. They call them Mexican restaurants, but it doesn't feel very Mexican. Not that Spanish is exclusively Mexican, it just, I don't know, it feels more like. What I usually eat while I'm hitchhiking? Things that are inexpensive and sustain me. It's not very glamorous. This is a delicacy for me. In my bag right now, I have a loaf of French bread, like the cheapest bread you'll find at the grocery store, and like uncut. So I just like tear off a piece and eat it. And then I have some almonds, which I usually don't have because almonds are expensive, but they're really calorie dense.
You still doing good?
Yeah, I'm still picking away.
Alright.
Thanks. Yeah, I think it's like 200 calories or something per quarter cup, which is, and I forget how many grams that is, but it's quite calorie dense. So they're great travel food. I just usually can't, I don't spend the money to get nuts, because almonds especially are kind of expensive. So like when I was in Europe, and I was kind of around cities and just kind of, no, I'm not allergic to anything, which is very convenient. When I was in Europe, what I usually did most days that worked pretty well for me was in the morning I'd buy like a baguette or some kind of loaf of bread, eat that slowly throughout the day. But also in the morning I'd have this like bucket with a handle that I could like clip onto my backpack with a carabiner, and it would just hang off the side of my backpack, and it had a lid on it and stuff, but it was just like a big yogurt container that I used at one point and then cleaned out. And I'd buy a kilogram of muesli, like breakfast granola, and which would probably cost me like €8, 5 to 8 euros maybe, and that'd last me several days. And then every morning I'd buy like 750 ml of, or a quarter, I don't know the units, just a whatever thing of yogurt, which was like 70 cents, 70 euro cents, or whatever they call them. It's like $1. And I'd put some muesli and pour the whole thing of yogurt into my bucket, mix it up and eat that for the first hour of the day, just gonna spoon through that and eat bread for the rest of the day. So my daily cost there is like €1 for the baguette or bread, and then 70 cents for the yogurt, and then I could probably make a kilo last 5 days or something like that. So we call that whatever, $2 a day, and less than that. We'll just call it $2 a day in muesli. So like $3.50, just over that, 3.5 euros rather. So $5. And that's probably on the high side of things. You can get that a lot cheaper. I also, a lot of times when you're hitchhiking, people give you food or just buy you food. Like yesterday, I don't know if anyone here was here yesterday, but yesterday I picked up a guy named Christian, and he dropped me off in a town, and we were both hungry, so we went to a diner and he bought me my dinner. He was a really nice guy, I liked him. That happens quite a bit with hitchhiking, which is always, it's extremely nice of people to feed me. I always try to make a point of telling people that I've saved up for this trip and I can't afford to sustain myself, but people still are pretty insistent that they help me, and so I will accept people buying me food and stuff like that. After I make it clear that I can't afford it. It's not like if you don't feed me, I'll starve or I'll go hungry. I'm in Oregon right now. I just crossed from Washington to Oregon today. I've had 3 rides so far today. I'm gonna try and get one more, I think. I'm just quickly fueling up on a couple tacos, and then I'll be back on the road. Unfortunately, the weather's turned a little bit. It's raining, but now it's stopped briefly, but it's supposed to start raining again pretty soon. So we'll see how that goes. Rain and electronics don't do well. Like, me personally, a lot of time I'll just use a thumb. Right now, since I'm going down one highway, yesterday I made a sign, it just says 101 south. So I'm going down Highway 101 and I'm going south, so I can show you that. South. That's what I'm doing right now. I always carry a couple sheets of cardboard with me in case I feel like making a sign. And I guess while we're talking about signs, like lots of people with bagels who are like busking or begging will have signs. And I never busk. I never beg. I save up money before the trip. I have my trips financed. I don't expect to be given any money. It does happen occasionally. Again, I insist that I have money. I saved up money specifically for this trip, and this is what I want to be doing. I'm not hitchhiking out of necessity. I'm hitchhiking voluntarily because I enjoy it, which maybe makes me weird, but yeah. How many states am I doing? There's no set plan to start with. Like I just crossed into the US 3 days ago. I took a ferry from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, to northern Washington, Port Angeles, and I've just been hitchhiking south since then. The plan is to keep going down the 101, get to California, and decide from there. I've really liked live streaming it so far, so I have no plans on stopping anytime soon. Once I get down to California, I'll probably start heading east and go like through Texas and stuff. Get to the East Coast eventually, maybe go up the Eastern Seaboard. I just have to avoid states where hitchhiking is actually expressly prohibited, because I'm trying to do this kind of by the books, like stay above the law while I'm doing this, just because I am broadcasting on a public platform, and I want to, as much as I can, keep things legal. So yeah, I'm avoiding the states where it's illegal. So no set number of states. I'd like to do all the contiguous U.S. states where it's legal. I think it's illegal in like 6 states or something like that. In my I did some research, and in my frequently asked questions below, it lists the states where it's actually expressly banned in that state. So yeah. Where's one place you hitchhike that you haven't? Where's one place I'd like to hitchhike that I haven't been yet? Is what I'm guessing you're asking. Where would I like to do it? I'd like to do some hitchhiking around South America, but from my experience in Russia, not knowing the language and hitchhiking through it, I'd really like to be at least conversational in Spanish before I do it, because I lose a lot of the interaction with the local population when I hitchhike through a country where you can't talk to them. That's a big part of what I like about hitchhiking, is the experience of meeting the local population, and you lose that if you can't communicate with them. So I'd like to do some South America, like pretty extensively actually. I just want to learn Spanish first, so that's on my list. If you want to know where I've been so far, I've done Canada coast to coast about 4 times. I've done the Northeast U.S. states. Last fall I did New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, and Massachusetts on my way to Boston. I was flying out of Boston to go to Asia. I've done all around Europe. I can give you a country list if you'd like. I've done across Russia from the Latvian-Russian border to Vladivostok on the east coast, and Japan. I hitchhiked from Fukuoka to Tokyo. Fukuoka is on the south coast, southwest coast, and I hitchhiked to Tokyo. And then I've hitchhiked across Australia from the east coast. Gold Coast is where I flew into, which is just south of Brisbane. And I hitchhiked north, and I started heading west, right through the middle. So I went through like Alice Springs and everything like that, smack dab in the middle of Australia, and then straight down to the south coast, and then along the south coast, and around to Perth on the west coast, and flew back to Asia from there. Trying to think of, kind of covered. Oh, I did last winter. Again, I'm from Canada. I was living in Calgary at the time, selling outdoor gear and equipment, so I got access. The brands would like lend you gear for you to try out, so you could sell it better. So I told Mountain Hardware I wanted to hitchhike to the Canadian Arctic in winter. So they're like, okay, here's a -40 sleeping bag and a 4-season tent. Actually, if Yusuke's watching, Yusuke did that for me, and he actually has been in my live stream. So if Yusuke, if you're watching, thank you, because you actually did the work. I say that I talked to Mountain Harbor when really you did. So yeah, thanks Yusuke. He was my assistant manager at the store I worked at. So they gave me a -40 sleeping bag and a 4-season tent, and I hitchhiked up to the Canadian Arctic to a town called Inuvik, which is in the Arctic Circle, and also to a town called Aklavik. The goal was to hitchhike to Tuktoyaktuk, which is right on the Arctic Ocean, and you have to drive up an Arctic ice road to get there, like up the Mackenzie River Delta onto the Arctic Ocean. So you drive on the Arctic Ocean, on the frozen ocean, and kind of loop around to get to Tuk. And when I did that last year, last year, it was the last year for the ice road to Tuk. They're building an all-weather road that will connect it, so there will no longer be an ice road because it's a year-round gravel road. But when I got to Inuvik, which is the last place before you go to Tuk, the road was closed for the whole week I was in town due to blizzard-like conditions further up north, and what's called overflows. And an overflow on an Arctic ice road is when the ice cracks a bit, like there's a break in the ice, and then ocean water comes up through that and spills over and then refreezes and creates a mogul in the ice, and they'll like be all over the place, and there's no real way of them fixing that, they told me, pretty much. So they pretty much are just like carving a new ice road, so plowing off the snow and like clearing the road and then grading it. They put little lines following the flow of traffic on these ice roads to keep, I guess, lateral traction so you don't slide off. But surprisingly, like in passenger cars, you'll just go like 100 plus on these on driving on ice. People just don't care. Commercial trucks have a very strict speed limit because they're a whole lot heavier and there's a whole lot more risk involved. Rarely do they ever fall through, but it does happen. But there's rules in place because of the mishaps that have happened. Like they can't go over a certain speed because if they go too fast, like because they're so heavy, they create a wave in the ice as they drive along it. And if you go too fast, I think what happens is the wave kind of has enough force and enough speed that it will just crack the ice. And there's been problems with that, cracking the ice and hitting it and falling through. And then they also have to keep a minimum distance between commercial trucks, again because of the like ripple, the wave they create in the ice. If there's too many too close, I think they can kind of interact and break the ice more easily. So there's a lot of rules for commercial trucks. I didn't realize that much until I got up there. I got a ride from near Dawson City, Yukon, to Inuvik. There's a highway called the Dempster Highway that connects up there. It's like just one gravel road that's like 600, 700 kilometers long or something. I waited 4 hours for a ride, got a ride, and then It was from a commercial truck, so a big 52-foot long trailer hauling up groceries for the grocery store in town called the North Mart. And I didn't realize about the commercial rules and stuff like that until we got to the first river crossing, and the truck driver asked me if I have my seatbelt on, and I always wear my seatbelt if there is one available. So he asked me if I had seatbelt on. I'm like, yeah, of course, I always have my seatbelt on. And then he's like, well, you should take it off. I'm like, what do you mean, why? And he was like, because when we go through, you don't want to have your seatbelt on because we want to get out pretty quick. And that was the point where I'm like, oh, this is a real thing. You don't wear your seatbelt when you're driving on ice. At least in a big truck, you don't. Fully loaded big truck. Yeah. Where I stay at nights, I sleep in my tent. I just go out into a forest or some woods and set down my tent for the night. I set up my tent after dark, once the sun sets, and I take it down first thing in the morning. And my rule is, when I leave wherever I'm camping, it should look like I was never there. As soon as I leave, there should be no trash. I don't have campfires. I don't do anything. I don't cut down trees. I don't tie anything off and like mark things up. Yeah, essentially leave no trace. And the laws on that vary depending on what type of land you're on. But ethically, I feel like if you're in an open forest, crashing out for 8 hours and not damaging the environment, not leaving any garbage, not burning any wood, is an ethical way to do that, as a free way to spend a night somewhere. So that's what I do, most nights. Sometimes I get offered places to stay by people that pick me up or people I meet. That's always nice, and I'm getting to the point where that would be really nice because I'm gonna start running low on battery soon, and I haven't showered for several days. I haven't shaved for several days, so I'm getting scruffy. Usually this is clean shaven. Usually I wouldn't get food like this. This is a big delicacy for me. It's usually like bread and nuts and granola and Snickers bars. Sponsor me, Snickers, please. I like Snickers. So a taco and some beans is really nice. I'm rewarding myself essentially, and spending more money than I usually would in a day because of that. Like this will just be like $10, but still, I usually travel on less than $10 a day. So, yeah. But I'm okay with that. What did I spend yesterday? I didn't spend very much money at all. I think the only thing I spent was when I bought the coffee at the Jack in the Box while I made a sign that said 101 South. You and I went on a road trip 2 summers ago. Oh, sorry. Ken stopped in on a cruise ship. He's playing, oh yeah, and told us about Osprey Town, and the museum is cool. Kind of want to go to the museum now. I don't know if I will. I definitely won't be if it's on the other side of that bridge, because there's no way I'm crossing that bridge again. I don't like that bridge. Like, it's fine to drive across, and they even called the lane I walked across on a bike lane. I don't think it meets the definition of what I'd call a bike lane. It's sketchy. Because yeah, I had like the bike symbol at the end of it, and like telling where a bike driving across the bridge should be going, and I'm like, man, if I had a bike, I'd go somewhere else. Yeah, actually, the guy that drove me into town was telling me about the, how treacherous the land was there, and there's a ton of shipwrecks there and everything like that. So yeah, one of my rides was telling me about that. It's kind of interesting. And yeah, when we were driving to town, we like go through a tunnel, and there's a World War II battery there because of its strategic point on the west coast of being at the mouth of the Columbia River. Should there have been an Axis invasion to the United States, it's a strategic point. So they had World War II batteries, which I don't think of that much when I think of like landmarks on the coasts of the United States and Canada. But yeah, they were preparing for an invasion to North America. It looks a little. Where's the dead cat? Come here, baby. Come on. Oh. Here's the dead cat. It doesn't really need to be on right now because I'm inside, so. I wonder if did that hurt your ears? Because I was fiddling around with the microphone. Maybe that was loud. And if it was, I'm sorry. But this is a dead cat with a band wrapped around it, because the thing is, I use this little lens, and it goes over my front-facing camera, not Canada. Thank you. And it's meant to make the field of view much wider. It's a wide-angle lens. And when that's on, and this is on, and I'm outside, you can see the tips of the little fuzzies on the side of your screen. And I tried to like wrap that to like make it narrower so you don't see the fuzzies on the side of your screen. But it is a pretty. I'll throw this on quickly. Yeah, it is a pretty wide angle. It significantly changes the field of view, which works great for when I'm walking around outside, because unless I'm holding this phone like several feet away from my body, you're going to be looking at just like my face, because if I just switch right back to this, like, there's a big difference between the two. And I'd say I'm 2 feet away from the phone right now. So it makes it a whole lot easier for filming outside, with filming me, to actually be able to see what's around me rather than just my face. I figured in the restaurant, rather than showing the whole restaurant. Actually, do you have a preference? I don't know. While I'm in the restaurant, do you want to see more, or do you since we're just talking, if it's more focused around me? And my food's done. So move that.
I can do that for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, can I get you anything else?
No, that's it.
Alright, so I believe this is for you. Whenever you're ready.
Thanks. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I didn't think so in the restaurant that much. Just thought I'd show the difference. Actually, I'm gonna go to the washroom here before I head back out on the road. But yeah, I'll be getting out, and I'm close to a spot where I think hitchhiking is appropriate. So I'll probably do that pretty soon. I am gonna run out of daylight relatively soon. You're gonna go? Okay. Well, I hope you have a great birthday. Happy birthday. You're not gonna go with me? Why not? Bring the whole family. It'll be great. Can I just get $10 back?
$10?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, have a great birthday, and happy birthday. I don't know when I'll be back, but when I do, I'll try to visit you guys. Because I haven't seen much of that side of the family in quite a while, so. But it was good to talk to you through Greg, through Twitch, through me being in Oregon, live streaming my process of hitchhiking. Cass sends love. Well, we all do. Okay, I'll send you all love back. And I'll try to see you guys all soon. Really depends how long I end up doing this shenanigans. But bye guys. Have a great night. watching. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Hopefully no one steals all my crap while I'm gone. I feel like it's pretty safe here. Seems like a fairly safe environment, but you never know. I could come back and someone stole you, and I don't know, you're being driven back across that stupid bridge. Yeah, and then I lose you all. It'd be very sad. So I'll be right back. We're back. I think it's about time I went and did some actual hitchhiking on a hitchhiking stream. I think that makes sense. What do you guys think? Or, I don't know if anyone's watching that's in a chatting mood, but yeah. I think it's time we get back on the road. It's looking really windy, and it's looking pretty dreary out there. I feel like I maybe should set up my my wet weather gear rather than my regular, because my battery will die in about an hour if I don't have it physically plugged in all the time. So I kind of had it open and was just hoping no water would get through this section here, but it kind of did, or at least water vapor, and it was very humid. Like, it just felt wet in there, and I'm like, that's not good for electronics. Maybe I'll just try a Ziploc bag. So I'm going to take off the shotgun mic. You're probably going to notice a change in audio. It's the audio without a shotgun mic. I do have a lav mic, really long clip-on mic that I have before, but we discovered that the audio was acceptable enough, just the stock mic, that we could get by, which makes it a lot easier. Because with the lav mic, I have the cord, which is looped up and still attached to the phone. And I'm like physically attached to my phone essentially at that point. So if I like set this all down. It took longer than I expected. Anything happened? I crossed the bridge, that was successful, and then I came and ate tacos. Came to this restaurant here and had 2 tacos, some chips, and some beans. It was very delicious. I spoiled myself. And I'm about to head back on the road to see if I can catch a ride before the sun goes down. It started to rain again, so I'm doing wet weather gear again, so I'm about to switch over to wet. Yeah, I'm just deciding how I want to do that, because I've done a bit of trial and error, and I've noticed some error. Watkins 99. Because same money is hard to replicate. We have contactless cards where we don't swipe or use pins. We just wave our wallet. Yeah, that's what Canada. Like every place that takes credit card has tap. You just like put your card. You don't even have to touch it. You just put it like within an inch. Beep. Wait 2 seconds. Approved. Carry on with your life. It's quick and efficient. And all your credit card purchases are insured. And so in that, even though in theory, someone can do it without your PIN. But max, I think about $100 before they make you do your PIN again. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So let's convert to video. Try and dry this out with this. Remember when I wouldn't get tapped because you lost your bank card? Yeah, I do remember that. Remember when I got you to help me manufacture spend $1,500 onto my credit card so I could get enough credit card points to to fly first class around the world? And I sent a check for $1,500 to your house, and then you cashed it and then gave my money back. That was pretty dope, man. Another thing I've done with traveling is accumulate credit card rewards points so I can get my flights for next to free. And my last trip I accumulated enough where I could not only just get a normal flight, but I could do it in first class. So I got to shower in an airplane, partly thanks to Devante, also known as Spooky Bone. So should have done it all twice. Yeah. Just should have done it all in rolled pennies, 50 cents a roll, and just chucked them at me, one by one. Yeah. There's gonna be some finagling. The video is gonna look weird for a while. The audio is gonna be weird as well. I'm just gonna be switching over to wet weather gear. I'll be able to use my microphone without having to keep the thing open, but it doesn't work, so I'm going to use and just go away. Alright, where am I at now? I'm in a story where I had a where I had tacos. I'm about to walk back into the rain. I can try and... No, I can't, because the back of this case, unfortunately, is bright red. So if I switch to my rear camera, that's the view. That's the view you get. I feel like it's like some kind of weird club lighting. But yeah. So that's good. lens on for now. If it's really rainy, just too much water droplets get onto the lens and it becomes more of a pain than anything to have this lens on, so I'll just take it off. And water will still get onto the screen essentially, but it's a bit easier to manage rather than the wide angle lens. Now the only thing left is preparing myself and getting the battery pack waterproof too. Battery in just a little soft case, which helps when I'm just strapping it to my like selfie stick thing. Just helps it grip better. But now that I've stopped walking, I'm noticing it in my feet now. I was talking earlier about the pads of my feet getting pretty sore the first couple weeks of my trip, or at least a couple days. And I'm noticing it like with the walking across the bridge and stuff like that. My body's telling me no, but I'm saying yes. It'll get used to it. I know it will, because I've done this before many times. It takes me like a week up to 2 weeks to get mostly my feet and my hip bones used to this whole experience again. Because I got bony hips. I'm a skinny guy. And I've always been pretty skinny, but I say I'm this skinny because I'm always eating a calorie deficit because I'm always traveling and I'm never eating enough. Yeah, so it's going to be on selfie mode from now on. Yeah. Just dealing with the battery. Try to catch at least one more ride today. Was it 6:45? But I got enough daylight left. Alright, battery seems secure. Phone is in its case. I think we're ready to roll. Drink a little last water. Shit away. Yeah, it's wet enough that I'll go waterproof pants too. You look a little silly in like really baggy waterproof pants, but it's a necessary evil. Actually, how can you hear me right now? I'm just curious how well the sound is doing through the waterproof case, because there's no microphone right now. Like, I know it's not going to be as good, but is it acceptable? Because I can do something different. It's just, this is the most waterproofish way I can do it right now. And it's still only waterproof-ish. It's not waterproof. 5 out of 10 quality. That sounds about right. But you can hear me. That's what's important. Okay. Alright. Well, we'll do it like this for now, and if it's pretty bad once I'm out on the road, then we can try and do something different. We're gonna start like this, because I had problems last time with the lav mic and water is still getting into the system. So, we'll start like this. Alright, we're ready to rock.
How was everything?
It was great. Yeah.
Where are you from?
Canada?
Canada?
Yeah.
Are you traveling to work?
Just around the U.S. Until I decided.
Going south?
Going south, yeah. I'm sure.
Happy?
What I'm doing here with this awkward contraption is I'm live streaming the process of hitchhiking.
Okay.
So that's live.
Oh, you're
Yeah. And then broadcasting on that channel.
okay. Does your name Trevor?
Yeah. Yeah. And I hitchhike around. I've done it in 25 countries, but now I'm hiking out the US.
And how do you like it so far?
I've only been here 2 days. But a lot of great people. Had a lot of fun.
Which other country do you gone?
I've done across Canada 4 times at home, and then I've done all around Europe. Most of that is 25 countries in Europe. And then I've done Russia, across Russia, and Australia.
And which one do you like the most?
My top 3 so far have been Ireland, Croatia, and Poland.
Are you thinking going south, like South America, something like that?
I'd like to. So, you can see that I'm talking to someone. I'd like to, but I learned from my time in Russia that I really don't speak well. And I crossed all the way across Russia. 10,000 kilometers, 7,000 miles, something like that. That you lose a lot of the experience that you can't talk to the local population.
Yeah.
Like I'm hitchhiking with some
You
theme
meet
parks.
people and stuff.
I'm always with some kind of local person usually when I'm hitchhiking, and if you can't talk to them, you miss out on
Yeah.
actual interaction. So I really want to do some international stuff. I just want to keep the conversation in Spanish or something like that, and I can step out of the language. Because I won't get the whole experience if you can't communicate with the local population.
Maybe you can enjoy the scenery and everything, but you
Yeah.
want to find the essence of the people and what you share with them and everything.
Yeah, you just go as a tourist, you just look at the country, experience.
But it's not the
It's not,
same.
but yeah, you're missing out.
Yeah.
So, kind of on that trip, I decided that before doing big trips into places like South America, I want to know the language enough where I can communicate.
If you need help, you got me.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm live every day on that at the bottom there, Twitch TV. If you want to email me, personal email.
Perfect. That's great what you're doing. Thank you, Trevor. Good luck.
Yeah, and make sure the food is accurate.
Thank
It's
you.
great.
Have fun.
I will.
Looks like the rain stopped anyway. Oh well, it'll start again. See ya.
Bye, Travis. Have fun. Take it.
Bye. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
See you another day.
Nice.
Night.